Good morning, folks. Today's episode of the show is brought to you by patreon.com/the show, where you can go and support independent media like this that we're just making and make it a lot better by helping support the show. The show is also brought to you by our merch that we're working on at theshow.threadless.com. You can find all the audio episodes of the show at theshow.fireside.fm. And just a reminder that this is also a video podcast. You can watch the video version of the episodes on facebook.com/the show with Edmund Mitchell, I think. You can find it. Or YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/Edmund Mitchell, you can find the show there and watch it. Today's episode was a big show with Allie, Johnny, and Nick, and we recorded in front of a live studio audience, which was really fun. It was Eric and Corey and Michael Sherman was around. So it was just a fun episode. Really hope you enjoy it and look forward to making more. This one just felt good. Like this episode felt, it just felt good. It felt natural. It felt like it was tight. Everything was together, and I hope to do a lot more of those types of episodes in the future. As always, let me know what you think about stuff in the comments. We read and respond to every comment. Thank you. Thank you for that toy soldier there. All right, so what?
The worker.
Oh, it's a worker man. All right, well, talk to you later. Hope you enjoy.
You staying home tonight?
I hadn't planned on it, no.
Plan on it.
Minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
You're gonna die.
I'm Raymond Arroyo. We'll see you next time.
That's pretty nice, right?
I feel good about it.
It's my favorite.
Is that nice?
Favorite opening.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show, the best semi-Catholic podcast in the world. It's the best podcast. The best Catholic podcast. And I know the podcast you're thinking about with those priests. This is better.
Or that one priest.
Yeah.
This one's better.
Way better.
Bringing back the laity.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Since 1970.
Can I get an amen? You know that podcast with the acrobats? Better than that one.
Way better.
You know that podcast with the child actor?
Uh-huh.
Better than that one.
Yep.
What? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Pretty
Is
sure.
this too deep of references?
Like one
Well,
of your references.
I didn't get the acrobat one, but
You know that podcast with what's it? Taylor Marshall's son, Taylor Schroll.
Yeah, I know
This
that
is
one.
better than that one.
Wow.
yeah.
Fighting words.
Yep.
Taylor, if you see this, we love you.
So
He's
this
watching
is
this for sure.
this is called The Show. We're here on a wonderful day in May. We're not going to say what date because it's going to come out later. But we're here with some wonderful people. Everyone, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Nick.
Hi, I'm Allie, and actually today is my dad's birthday. Happy birthday,
gosh,
Mike. So you
that's
can deduce
amazing.
when we
Happy
are recording
birthday.
this.
Happy
but
birthday,
happy
Michael.
birthday. Love you.
Wow.
Mike.
Wow.
Mike, happy birthday.
Mike.
You're gonna die.
So, Johnny,
Top
introduce
hat.
yourself.
Yeah, my name is Johnny.
Okay. That's
Thanks.
it. You guys suck at the introductions.
Why? You know,
How about you introduce
they're
yourself?
already tuned in.
Hi, my name is Edmund Mitchell. I'm a Catholic creator, youth minister, director of evangelization and
Are you a
catechesis.
youth minister? I thought that.
I'm a father, son,
Good point.
and
John.
wife. Husband. Dang.
There it is.
It's 2019, man.
It's
You can be
2019.
Whatever you want.
It's confusing for him because a majority of his Instagram followers are all
Are
mom
women.
bloggers.
They're all
Catholic
women.
mom
It's true.
bloggers.
Mommy
true.
bloggers. Yeah.
Did you guys see that Blessed is She promo we launched?
Oh my gosh.
Us
It
women,
was amazing.
you can't hold us
You
back.
join forces.
You
It
can't
was
hold
so
us back.
Good. So good.
It's
was
so
very
cool
good.
of them to not see gender. Like, it's really progressive. They're so woke.
That's part of their apostolate, I think, right?
No, I love
don't see
Jenna.
that.
I love Blessed is She. I loved working on that video.
It was so
Anyways,
good.
we're also here with a live studio audience.
We are.
Yeah.
So everyone say hi over there.
There's like 50.
Michael Sherman's here, who's been working on the creative team.
So good.
He's the graphic designer who's why we look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eric and Corey just look good.
Woo!
So they're why the room looks so good.
It's true.
So anyways,
And then the rest of them. There's so many.
we're supposed to say some stuff. I'm really excited for this. So we're supposed to say some things. The show is brought to you by our merch. Allie, do you know what the website URL is for our merch?
Yep. It's www.
Johnny,
Dot.
do you know what the
I was getting there.
do you know what the website URL is for our merch where we sell t-shirts for the show that you are on?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it's makeamericagreatagain.com.
Okay, Nick.
Nick. Oh, sorry. HTTP.
I feel like
Okay, the show is brought to you by-
realthread.com.
No.
The
Threadless.
show.
No.
Threadless.com/the
the show.
You know what? I think we're gonna have other
Nailed it.
hosts. I think
Nailed
we
it.
have other
No, we got
hosts.
it. We got it.
I think we have other hosts in the lineup here.
Threadless.
So it's theshow.threadless.com.
That's
That's
what we
exactly
said.
what we said.
That's where you can find all our cool
Gosh.
merch,
Not
like
a difference.
throw pillows, shower curtains,
Shower curtains, yeah.
iPhone covers, right?
Whatever you want.
The show is also brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/the show, where people can sign up. People like who? People like who? Johnny?
Name them.
People like who?
Allie Hoffman.
We're going to name them. Well,
People like Katie Kuchar. I don't know, actually. She's not a sponsor. No, actually, just take that back. She used to sponsor. Steve Bush.
Oh, man.
Katie, come back.
Cassie Richard.
Cassie.
That's it.
Cool.
So join our Patreon.
Hey, guys.
We can definitely use it.
Exclusive content.
Exclusive
only
content.
On Patreon.
Yes. Interview with Michael Forrest. No, that's not on Patreon. So the show is brought to you by those things. So thank you so much for
So
being
good.
here. All right. So our first order of business, we have to get to a phone call. We're going to have a phone call soon. Michael, how are we doing on the phone call? Is Kyle ready? Give him a call, yeah. Okay. He's on our time because we're the best. Okay.
Yeah.
So first things first, we have 2 packages to open. The first package I want you guys to open. So the big one over there. If you could open, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
This is like Christmas.
Isn't this awesome? Here you go. There's a blade. We need some package opening
Look
music.
at that tape. We make fun signs.
Okay, here's some packaging open music right
Up
here.
Is that? Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right, if you could open the package,
we go.
Johnny.
Oh, you want it?
Oh, perfect.
No.
No.
I don't.
Oh.
Here we go.
We gotta
We'll get better at
present
this.
There we go.
nicely.
People
Here we
should
go.
send us more packages so we can get
47705.
better
The
at
safe
this.
way is to cut away from your body, but it's towards Allie's. So
She's fine. She's
Okay,
fine.
She good?
while you guys are opening that package,
You
I
good?
just want to say the show, you can also find the you can find the show in most of the podcast apps that you have, but you can also find the show
hold on.
on facebook.com, which is an internet website, Eric. It's on the internet. It uses the internet. Mr. Mark Zuckerberg created it for people to connect and send only positive messages to each other.
It's really uplifting.
So facebook.com/the show with Edmund Mitchell. You'll find it. I don't know. We have video versions of the podcast on the Facebook page and video versions of the podcast on YouTube.
So many places, Edmund.
Allie, this is a blade.
YouTube.com.
Very careful.
YouTube.com/Edmund
that
Mitchell.
side.
What is in this box, guys?
Let's see.
It's a puppy.
Whoa.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness.
That puppy.
Yeah.
It's a show
Whoa.
sign.
Oh, just take this off the show.
that.
All right, get this out. Get this out.
Look
Okay.
at that.
Oh my
Look at
Look at that.
gosh.
Look
The
at this.
show.
And
The
then,
show, it's
And
live.
then the Topa. So Nick, could you describe this beautiful thing to us?
Oh
yes,
my gosh.
And so here is the logo that I believe Michael Sherman designed, right?
No, actually, Michael and I both held the mouse at the same time. Yeah, we both.
It was a real.
And then this one, Laura Cohen painted
Yes.
an inspiration for this. It's a Topo Chico version of the show logo.
Oh my gosh, look at the similarities.
And there is a nail right there.
I feel like this is ceremonial. We need
Yeah, I
background
feel like
music.
you
What's the
Can
ceremony?
all 4 of our
Something.
hands put this on the
Yeah.
on the nail?
Johnny,
I don't know what
What?
the.
What do you need?
you need to put your hand on it somehow.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh
This is
no.
bad.
Okay.
Hold on.
Here, I'll go like this. This is really professional. Okay.
Can't find the hole. Johnny, don't say it.
Okay.
If I can't do it.
Hold on.
I'll just hold right here.
Hold on.
Okay.
Johnny, get your hand. There it is.
Wow.
Can we get a round of applause for the logo? Okay, so we got that. We also have another
Sweaty
package.
after
We could
that.
open the other package.
Got a little sweaty too.
I'm a little sweaty.
Okay. See.
How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling good?
Thanks.
feel good.
Here you go, Johnny.
Okay. Careful.
Okay.
Get
Allie.
it. There it is.
Got another box here.
Providential
Okay.
Co.
Yes, this box is from Providential Co. I'm
Yes.
not exactly sure what's in it,
That's exciting.
but they, them, shem. She, he, them, shem.
All of them.
They sent it over, so we want to see what it is.
I have a candle by them, and it's my most
There
favorite
you go.
candle.
Johnny, put the knife down.
Oh, wait.
Johnny?
Okay. All right.
All right, let's open it up. There's packaging.
Oh.
Whoa.
Look at that. Hold
There's
on.
multiple.
Stop being
Okay.
Oh my
animals. Read
Okay,
the
okay.
box first.
Okay, we can't talk over each other. We have to explain what's in the box one at
Okay.
a time.
This is a coaster. Multiple. Exactly 6 coasters.
Okay.
About
Those are nice. Let me see that.
God's love.
Okay.
The Father.
Wow.
What else is in there?
Wait, read the note, Nick. There's a note.
Yeah.
Allie, do you want to explain what we got right there?
Oh, yeah. After.
From Trisha
Oh,
D.
sorry.
Note,
Oh.
hey Edmund, I hope you and Danielle enjoy these. I'm a fan of all that you're doing to show people the faith is accessible and super cool.
Yes.
Blessings.
Oh, that's really nice.
You know, I was reading that super slow because I didn't know if this was like a personalized message. So I was trying to read in advance and then
got
also.
that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I was wearing that right on my face.
Also,
And
thank you
I
for
was
not
trying to
telling
protect-
anyone what we talked about last week. That was very personal.
No, he didn't.
Personal prayer request.
No, I'm saying
He,
like
he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, it's just,
Yeah, he didn't
I
read.
thought that was like real. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I say?
He didn't.
Between me and you.
He didn't read where it said, "P.S. How's the rash?"
Yeah.
That's, yep.
So we got
my
these
job.
really well-designed coasters. Allie, do you like Providential Co?
I love Providential Co. They have candles, which I
designs.
think is one in
Oh,
here,
look
and I
at
use
that.
it for my prayer time. I light
You
it
use one of
during
their
prayer-
candles for your prayer time?
Yes, I do. I just bought one.
So
It's
would you
amazing.
say that Providential Co, the brand, brings you closer to our dear Lord Jesus
Oh, for
Christ?
sure, yes.
Wow, that's
Okay,
a little.
so
That's a
there's-
little suck uppy of you to say, but
okay.
okay.
Well,
What are those? Earrings?
so these are. It looks like prayer cards.
Oh, those are
one
cool.
of
Ooh,
St. Francis
I
of
lo-
Assisi.
Wait, is there a Maximilian Kolbe? I want the Maximilian Kolbe. Yes.
Yes. And
Wow,
a
these
Holy
are like-
Rosary.
I was gonna say those
Okay.
Look
are
at that gold
solid.
foil.
These are like trading card stock. Like,
Ooh.
I mean, these are like high quality baseball card trading. Like,
nice.
Put
Ain't
it
your
in your
mama's card
wallet.
stock. Yep. You know.
this is like a Charizard holographic right here. Right. But it's Maximilian. Okay,
Save
what
that.
else is in here, Allie? Open this up for us.
This must be what I think it is. This
A potato.
is probably
Pringles.
Nope, keep guessing. Close.
Another potato.
Wow. Another upside, they package it really well.
ShamWow.
It's not gonna break on your one.
Wow.
Okay,
How
this
much
is
paper?
not-
That is a dense roll of paper.
See, St. Thomas
Look at
Aquinas.
that.
It's a
Wow.
soy prayer candle, feast day, January 28th.
And it's made out of soy,
Yep.
which is
And
good because we like our candles made out of soy.
fragrance is balom, and cedar. What is that?
I'm sorry. What?
Balom?
Balm. How does it smell?
Wow, it smells
Okay,
real nice.
Allie, could you give us like an ASMR version of you smelling this and then
Yeah.
telling us how you smell it? What,
Yeah.
what do you smell here?
Wow, I'm smelling balom for sure.
Of course.
It's like I'm in like the cedars of Lebanon, like the forest.
You suck at
like,
this. Here you go.
I'm
Watch.
awesome at it.
Watch this.
Wow.
No, wait. Can you
Okay,
just
you
close
do
your eyes?
better.
Close your eyes and center yourself.
Wow.
Are you ready? You ready? Hello. This is. Balaam.
Doesn't make me want to.
Is that better? Whose was better?
I
Mine or
felt like I
Allie's?
was there.
Was Allie's better?
In the cedars of Lebanon.
I think Allie's was better because that one made me feel uncomfortable.
A soy candle. Yeah, no,
No.
I have one
Okay.
of Saint Joseph, and it's
Hey, there's more.
amazing.
There's more.
Okay, there's more. Here, what
There's
else
more.
we have?
We got pint glasses.
Oh wow,
Look at
Providence.
that.
Is that all that's in there, Allie?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
What else is in there?
I'll save it for after that one.
A
What is
$100
that?
bill. Is this a pint glass?
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at their nice stickers.
Man, packaging is on point, Trisha.
Oh, you're just going for it.
Here you go.
Look at that.
Wow.
And then here you go.
Bridget
Look
of
at that.
Ireland.
Oh my gosh, St. Bridget of Ireland, pray for us. I would
There
like
you
to
go.
great lake of beer flowing for the
Oh
king of the
man,
kings.
have some
Wow.
class.
Wow,
There you go.
you were
Goodness.
prepared.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, just in case there.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you
okay.
know how to
so
pour a beer?
Describe the. Listen, this is a short podcast, Johnny.
Fast.
Okay.
Okay,
Can
the
you
la-
describe this glass? There is Saint Bridget of Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
who apparently likes beer. Pray for us, and then
Here, there's a quote
I will
on the
say,
back, Johnny.
No, I will say Providential Co does I really do dig their design.
Mm-hmm.
They have restraint.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
They
it's
don't go
not over the
crazy.
top and complicated, but it's just elegant. I like
Good quote.
There you go.
Johnny, why don't you
quote
tell
right
the
there.
quote on the back of this
I'll read
cup?
it to you. It says, "I would like a great lake of beer flowing for the King of Kings."
Oh, wow.
St.
deep.
Bridget of Ireland. Okay,
Bridget-
there's one more thing
St.
in this
Bridget of
box.
Ireland, pray for us.
Yeah.
Pray for us.
No, you're supposed to.
I
okay,
don't-
there you go.
Allie,
All right.
you have to.
I don't-
What's the last
you
thing?
have to
Drink beer, I
that.
don't like beer.
Is it
Okay.
is it a $100 Amazon gift card?
Or I'll do you one better.
101.
Oh, a
Oh,
print.
wow.
Oh my! See, look at that minimalist style. Look at that. Get that.
My
on
kids would
something.
really like this. Yeah, this is really
beautiful.
cool. That's really awesome. Do you wanna set them up right here or something? Or
It's beautiful, Allie.
That was good.
There you go.
actually, we're
The
gonna
minimalist with the light, just very clean.
There's
Providential
nothing
Co.
minimal about our Lord, Allie.
Shadows.
Next.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna have to call. We're gonna have to call Kyle. All right, so we have a call in. So we're gonna go to this. Johnny, if you could fill the time right now.
Of course.
Michael,
Here we go.
is
Feeling
Kyle
the time.
ready?
Talk about your gray hair that
Is
we
he
found.
still? Is Kyle
Yes.
still
All right,
available?
listen.
We just found it.
I don't think I can do this podcast anymore. You guys are gonna be
we
speaking.
found a
speaking
long
lies.
No,
gray
man.
hair. And Johnny, yeah.
What?
No,
Look.
gray hair in your mid to late 20s, 30s.
How dare you.
It is
How dare you.
endearing.
Kids.
It's
Solid
endearing.
mid-20s, maybe.
But you're a drummer, so like you can pull it off.
There's nothing hotter.
How dare you?
Wait,
Just
what happened?
The
You found
lone,
He's got a gray hair.
twist your
I
head.
don't have a gray
Where?
hair.
I have gray hairs on the side. I'm getting the like.
I mean,
got
you
one
have
up here.
5 kids. I only have 2.
That's true.
It's a lot of responsibility. Own it.
My wife does everything. I
Johnny.
don't have to do any of it.
Gray hairs unite.
Yeah.
Nick,
I've got some.
you
I
better-
wasn't included.
Dude, don't you want to be a silver fox like Matt Maher?
I was going for more of a Mark Hart,
Yeah.
but
Eh.
he's handsome. Come on. Just
Okay.
gonna say it.
I'm having a hard time pairing here, but it's a common problem.
Wow, look at this little board you got down here.
There's a Bluetooth button.
Little
Don't look at
spaceship.
the board.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking
It's right
at
there. It's blinking at us.
it. All these different colors.
Nice.
Why would you look at the board?
Oh, I just love a good board. I really do. All right, so
I feel like
next
the more silent
next
it
segment.
is,
Here we go.
the better.
Yep.
Man, of course, while we're trying to call someone, it's going to say unsuccessful calling.
I mean, I have a series of dad jokes.
This is why we need a
prepared, but-
producer to just take care of all this. Why is this not? Okay, here, we're going to try one last time, and then if it doesn't work, then we're going to say, Kyle, you missed your chance. It's your fault. Why would it? It just worked earlier. I called my wife. She was upstairs. And I said, hey. And she was like, hi. And I said,
Enough of this.
can you talk louder? And she said, no. And I said, all right, thank you. And then she hung up on me.
Oh, Danielle, you're the best.
Why would it not work,
just
Nick?
Just forget the
Oh,
forget the connection and then
good
reconnect.
idea.
college.
Forget this
Forget it.
device.
Forget
it.
Let's put this up front.
Forget it.
But seriously, I have one of these candles. Amazing.
We have some really serious topics for today. Johnny has one that's really intense, and then Kyle has some topics. We got some news coming up. What else do we have coming up? I think Allie, Johnny, and Nick are going to consider being serious podcast guests, hosts. Okay, here we go. So we have a. Did you like that shade?
Shots fired.
You like that shade? Okay, so some of you who are listening might remember Kyle from I think 2 past episodes. Michael, was he on 2? You came on with him once, and then I think he was on another one. And he talked about. Anyways, let's see if he is available.
Didn't you talk about Kanye?
Can you guys hear him?
Oh, it's working.
It's working.
Beef.
So Kyle is our culture correspondent. He's a young person.
He's live in the field
Yeah,
right now.
he's reporting in live from a college campus
Nice.
where he's probably wearing shorts that are above his knee.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Kyle.
Kyle
All right.
sounds like a woman.
Wow.
We're gonna leave a voicemail, okay? You ready?
815508 is not available.
Everybody now
At the
knows.
tone,
Okay, wait.
please record your message.
Number.
When you have finished
Who's taking the
recording,
lead?
you may hang up or press 1 for more
Okay.
options.
Kyle, you missed your shot. Nick is so upset with you.
Hey man,
He has turned into a different.
answer your phone.
He has turned into a different
Person.
person
All together.
altogether. And That's on you, Kyle. That's on you. That's on you.
What's up, man?
Please turn my friend back. Turn him back to a normal person.
Whoa.
Turn him back to another person. Who is just
Original Nick.
turn him back to another person that is just as good as the other person that
you.
he has been
Word.
turned into. Hope your family's doing well. Bye.
Bye.
Michael, what's his problem? Why didn't he answer?
I think he was ready like an hour ago.
Oh man, I did tell him to be ready a little after 9, and it's a little after 10.
So that's accurate. The timing is accurate.
But with me, that's kind of how this stuff works.
Let's
We're
call
not
somebody
wrong.
else. Let's call somebody else.
yes,
Who else do you want to call? My mom?
Let's scroll through your contacts.
No,
Just
my mom's
slide
kind of
it
a
and
good-
then hit one.
Wait, your mom was awesome on the Catholic Creatives Instagram takeover.
Yeah, my mom actually
pretty awesome.
is really good content.
I think we hand all 4 of our phones to the audience. They
Now-
find the most famous person.
Now, my
call
mom,
them.
my mom, right now it's 11 p.m., so she thinks someone died.
Oh no, Edmund.
That's on you. You guys, that was your idea.
Dang, it's a lot of space.
My dad's scooting across the kitchen in his boxers. My dad's like, oh, crap.
Can I take the lead on this one?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Hi there.
No.
You have reached Dorian Mitchell.
No. Hey! Nope. Not leaving my mom one of those.
Okay.
All right, guys. I don't know. I mean, do you want to try one last call?
Call my
Guys,
dad.
those of you listening at home.
Oh, let's
listen.
go. It's her birthday. It's his
Scroll
birthday.
And then point.
No, because we'll call Father Flynn or something. No.
There's a show right there. It's his birthday.
I don't know if
Michael
he'll answer.
Hoffman.
Okay.
I can try call.
Michael Hoffman.
Guys,
You
can
have
we
his
sing
phone number?
four-part harmony?
I've
Happy
got his phone
birthday.
number.
Yeah.
Really?
We all got his phone number.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the base.
Do you have his
I don't
phone
have his
number?
phone number?
Those
Oh,
of
yeah, I
you
do.
listening at home, you're part of our small audience as we're starting out. So you're along for the ride with us. We're all along for the ride.
Allie, are
Hopefully.
you taking the lead?
Okay. We'll all be quiet.
You know what to do.
Can you pretend to cry? Pretend cry.
Yeah.
Pretend cry. You got a tattoo. You got.
Or if you can do Nick's voice.
Do you think your dad's awake?
He should be. He's at Mayfest in Fort Worth.
Michael Hoffman has also been on an episode of the show.
Man, I hope he answers. How embarrassing.
Hey, thanks for calling Igniting Performance.
gosh.
And Michael
Dang
Hoffman.
it.
Hey,
Could you
man.
leave me just a brief message in your
No. All right. Well, this is the segment called.
No one answers.
That was perfect, Bell. All right, guys.
That was good. That
What
was
else we
fun.
have? Oh, okay, so one other thing we have is a story of our good friends from Adam from the Catholic Man Show came in town.
Oh, yeah.
And Nick and I had a wonderful time.
Delightful.
Are you guys familiar with the Catholic Man Show?
I saw the Instagram stories of you guys hanging out together.
So you're not. Okay, cool.
I'm familiar
No,
with
it's really
you.
fun.
It was
Neither
last
of you.
minute, you know?
Yeah, it was.
You wanted to come to the...
What'd you say?
I'm just familiar with neither of you coming to our coffee date the following morning. Allie and I were there.
Just
but
really aware of
I
that,
wasn't planning on being there
which
anyway.
ended up at Chick-fil-A anyway.
That makes me a little uncomfortable. Okay, so Adam happened to be in town. I only know him from Instagram. This is the beauty. Eric, Instagram.com is a website that Mark Zuckerberg's bought. He bought this website. Yeah.
it's like photos. It's got photos.
Is it like the pictures?
Yeah, the pictures.
like photos.
Like-
I have a photo album in
No,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is different.
what it is. It's
Oh,
like
that.
Facebook. with
anyways,
photos.
so
Yeah.
Adam happened to be in town, and Adam messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hey, last minute, idea. What if we met in person?" Which normally you would tell your kids not to do.
Sure. On the internet.
But
yeah.
Nick said, "Let's do it."
Nice.
And so Nick and I took Adam out, and I don't know if everyone knows this, but so he was an awesome guy. I mean, he
Very
has a normal outside the church job, but him and his friend in Tulsa, right? Him and his friend just decided to buy a radio frequency. Like, there's not very often that government frequency that I get. It's government regulated, right, or something.
Yeah, it's not too often that there's an opening to acquire one.
Yeah.
And so when it is open, like you jump on it. And so
They just bought a frequency in
Yeah.
Tulsa, and then they just decided to start broadcasting Catholic radio. And so EWTN is a Catholic television, but I guess also radio network. But they're allowed to stream anything that EWTN is putting out live. They're allowed to syndicate it for free. And so they just started
Because-
pumping out Catholic radio.
because
my gosh.
EWTN wants that.
Yeah, because they want it.
Yeah.
Well, and they're offering it. They're like, if you're going to put in all the work to buy the station, which it was a ton of work, you have to incorporate and
You
do all
can
this other
have
stuff.
our content for
Yeah,
free.
so Adam and his friend, like his best friend from forever, just decided like they just bought. They had never done it before. They had no plans to do it. They just like ended up doing it, and then over time they were just like, well, let's do a segment. Like let's have one of the 24 hours be us talking, and then they just started talking, and then it turned into a podcast, and all of Tulsa, like basically like they're the face of Catholic radio.
Oh my gosh.
In Tulsa, and it turned to this podcast. Anyways, really fun. He was a really fun guy. It was really cool. We went to we showed him all around Grapevine.
We did.
We showed him like
bars.
3 different bars.
Well,
That's
to
all
be,
there
to
is
be
in
fair,
Grapevine.
we didn't order anything at the second bar, right?
The second bar?
Third.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went in. It was way too loud.
Yeah.
There was an amazing band.
Very good Journey
Yeah.
cover band.
But Adam is a splendid man. His name's Adam, right? I kept calling him Alex for some reason, right? Or didn't I keep calling him Trevor
calling him
or something?
Andy.
Oh, Andy. Yeah, I kept calling him
How
Andy.
long has he been doing this for?
I don't know. The Catholic
Radio?
Man Show's been going on for a while.
Really? That's awesome. Way to
Yeah.
go,
So it
Adam.
was really just.
Go check him out.
It was just one of those feel good stories of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyways, so there's that. So what else do we have? There's that. I think we're gonna go to Allie's news.
Something in my
Do you guys have anything? Johnny, did you have something you wanted to bring up?
I mean, what
don't
we
have
talked
to.
about earlier.
You don't have to. You can.
Do we need to talk about it?
It's up to you,
It
man.
needs to be talked about.
I think
All right, go
someone
for
should
it.
talk about it.
Go for it. Let's do it.
I need you guys to pray for my wife. She's like recently really been struggling with like pornography. Yeah, she's been watching Game of Thrones every week.
There it is.
There it is.
Every week. And I'm
There
like,
it is.
Julie, look, the Lord still loves you, but he loves you too much to let you keep doing this. So here I am. I walked in today. She was like, you come in at the weirdest times during the show.
Like,
And I came in today. There's like a naked man being like paraded through this cityscape, and people are like watching him be naked. And I'm like, yeah,
Like
okay,
proudly-
porn.
Yeah. No, the same exact thing happened to me. My wife had been struggling with Game of Thrones. Or no, not Game of Thrones.
It's a serious
Downton
sin.
Abbey.
Oh, that's worse.
For months.
Wait.
And the one time I came in to watch it, the one time I came in to say, okay, fine, take
Yeah.
me back to this Victorian era.
Right.
2 men kissed on screen.
Yep.
And I was like, what?
I don't think I remember that.
Yeah.
First time I said, okay, fine. Yep, I'll try. I'll try one episode. Brother and sister.
Oh,
yeah.
out.
Yuck.
You know,
Yucky,
I don't need to
yucky,
say the
yuck.
words. And I was like, Julie, explain to me what's happening here. And she's like, well, yeah, it has to happen.
What?
It's pivotal to the plot.
No, it is not.
What?
Oh man.
To be fair, she's gonna be mad at me for saying that, but
Yeah.
I've
That's
not
okay.
seen any.
part of that story is true.
Part of it is true, or
Part of that story is true.
I
Anyways,
did see one episode of it, and I felt like I had to go to confession afterwards because I was like, "Oh my gosh,
You
oh
did.
my gosh!" And I've never seen an episode since.
so many parts.
Can't
So
do
many
it.
parts.
I haven't
Can't
seen
do it.
any.
Yeah, don't
Nah,
do it.
None of
that's-
it.
No.
So
Don't do it.
But let's see, let's pick apart a little bit the deeper issue here. There are things that this is the central struggle with being in the world but not of the world, right? And then at what point is it being like cooperation with evil and encouraging evil and promoting evil because you're one of the millions of people watching it and supporting it? And then at what point? I mean, before we went live, I played you guys the Logic and Eminem collaboration track that just came out, which is really inappropriate.
Yeah. How
So
dare you.
is me listening to that cooperating with something that's inappropriate? At what point as Christians should we cooperate? And at what point is it, there are certain movies where there might be 1 or 2 parts that are kind of a little inappropriate, but we're mature enough to go, you know what? Okay, I can kind of fast forward past this part, or just it's not bothering me. So at what point, I don't know, how do you guys make that distinction? What would you tell your kids? I feel like that's the bigger thing as I'm becoming a parent is are you really using your
I
phone?
have
What's
something
going
in
on?
my eye. It's really hurting.
Just-
Carry,
yeah,
carry
let's-
on with the porn talk.
No.
I'm sorry. I just
With the porn dog,
Johnny, what would you tell your kids if your kids were like, well, no, Dad,
Well, hold on. Let me interject because
Yeah, do it,
I
do
think
it.
the kid argument isn't. Well, I don't know if that's a good one.
Okay.
Because they don't know how to moderate, and they're not fully brain's not fully developed, and so they
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to order anyway.
Well, our kids, but you know, if it's like, what do you? Because we all have young kids. That's what I mean.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
but if it's
superior.
like, you know,
That's what I thought you meant.
our kids would know what to do. No. Like our kids are all young, they wouldn't know. But I think it's like, you know, if my parents, who obviously our relationship is now different, that like I'm a parent myself, that, you know, they wouldn't be able to say like, hey, they all, pretty much it could be accountability at that point. It couldn't be any restriction. So, but looking back, if Georgia was like my age, you know, in her 20s, I would still totally be like, whoa, what's your? And I'm using Game of Thrones as the hilarious example. Like if she was listening to like Edmund music, that would be bad.
No. But let's use Game of Thrones. Like, let's say your daughter is like, look, Dad, I know there's bad stuff in it, but I look past it because it has a good narrative and it has a good story and it's a really important piece of culture.
Okay, well, just to speak to that for a second,
Please do.
Julie, who's like literature genius, she connects it to all of this. She was connecting it to like spiritual warfare and to all sorts of stuff the other night. I should have remembered all of this.
That's fine.
Hope
That's
she
fine.
didn't listen to this.
Look, we're in this together. Just look into my eyes.
She
and just
connected it well.
Yeah.
She had good connections. She was like, it totally makes sense with all these different segues. But something like, you know, like there's this kid that lives on our street that just drives down blaring like, you know, super raunchy music with like, you know, my kids in the front lawn. That, if that was my kid, I'd be like, okay, like what are you getting out of that? You know what I mean? Like, is that actually feeding your intellect at all?
But do you feel like if there are long sex sequences in the middle of an episode of Game of Thrones, do you feel like there's a certain point where it goes so far that to continue watching and supporting and promoting it becomes like you become complicit in the culture? Like you're kind of like, well, I just see past that. Like at what point, like if there were, like, could you imagine a type of sin on display in a show where you would not want to watch it? And then if so, why would you draw the line there? And we'll be back after this break. A word from our sponsors, SaveThePuppies.org.
No, it's a really good question. Sorry, I think we all paused there because I think we were going down this rabbit hole and then we're going down this one. But I think it's relative to a person because it's all like measured upon one's like just the near occasion of sin, right?
Yeah.
So like it depends on people's thresholds for that
and why their intention, maybe.
Well, yeah, and I feel like it's kind of one of those things where it's only you know. Yeah. Like when it's about to cross that threshold.
Yeah.
And like nobody else knows for you. Like only you know. So it's kind of like if you're at work or something and you're like, should I fill out this expense report like this or whatever? And if you feel like you have to ask, you know, your superior, you probably should, you know? And so like in watching stuff like that, if you're like kind of asking yourself like, should I be watching this? Like, then you should probably
stop and examine.
Exactly. So like only you know what that near occasion of sin is because concupiscence is not ever gonna stop.
Allie, what's your hot take? Game of Thrones right here. All your friends are watching.
I think
be sensitive.
Seeing one episode of it.
Which one? Which episode?
The first one. And it was years ago. I don't know when it came out.
Okay.
I just think, what is the difference between that and a porno? Like, what is the difference?
You can say pornography here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay.
But like, what is the difference if it's just, it's just a really good story? Then
so what if someone says, I need to watch this because the story is good, and then when the nudie parts come, I fast forward.
See, and well, that's what I was asking. Like, I have a bunch of friends who watch. I have family members who watch, and I asked them about that, and they said, "Well, a lot of the important conversations happen during those scenes."
Oh God!
Exactly,
Goodness.
because they were talking about during like this time period or whatever. It's not a real time period, but in that like
world.
What's the word?
Construct. Cosmology.
No, keep going with the con words. No, keep going.
Universe.
No, oh my gosh.
Constipation.
Nope, keep going. Close.
Constant.
We're getting closer.
Constant contact.
Whatever. Transfer of power. We'll just go that way. Or like these conversations where power happens and like people like relationships are formed and all this stuff happens in this most vulnerable time. And so a lot of important conversations happen. So it's like you can't fast forward if you want to know the story. But I'm like, there are other stories out there. Like,
Yeah, there are better stories out there.
Even if it's a good story, like, and for me, I'm such a visual person and things stick with me. So I knew for myself, like we were talking about it, if I saw it, it would be ingrained in my head forever. And I'm just like, I'm not even going to mess with that.
Yeah, for me personally, I just feel like it's not really worth it. All right, next we're going to go to voicemails.
Consolidation. Thank you.
What?
Consolidation.
In the consolidation of power?
What was the word again? Consolidation of power.
It's good to know.
All right, that segment.
Oh, I'm sweating again.
That segment from Urban Dictionary is brought to you by Allie Hoffman. All right.
Consolidation.
What was I missing? I was missing that solid in the middle.
The solid.
Consolidation. Yeah.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Anyways,
No!
Just stop, Allie.
What's up next?
All right, so we have 4 voicemails.
Oh, that's exciting.
Let's get a round of applause for the voicemails. Okay. Okay, so we have voicemails. You can call in at 817-527-1423, and once a month we will include the voicemails on the show while supplies last. So we're going to go through these voicemails. We don't have much time to get through them, but we're going to get through them, okay? So here we go. This is our first voicemail.
This is good.
So what do you guys think?
You know, not a lot to say.
Little wordy.
Yeah.
All right, that was a crappy voicemail. We're going to go to the next one.
We'll edit that.
Hey,
in post.
good morning, Edmund. This is Eric from New York. I have a quick question. So my wife is expecting we're going to be a mom-to-be. Well, she's going to be a mom-to-be. Mother's Day weekend is next weekend. She is creative. She is a beautifully talented worship leader. What would be an awesome, creative, awe-inspiring gift for a mom-to-be at Mom's Day? Let me know what you think. More importantly, let me know what the rest of your team, a.k.a. committee, a.k.a. wife, thinks. Would love to hear from you. Also, one more thing. If you listen to the podcast at half speed, it sounds like every single conversation I probably should have not had throughout my college days. Be blessed, man. Talk to you later. Bye.
What does that even mean?
Eric.
It sounds like
What does that even mean?
It does sound like
Sounds
you're drunk
like a lot
when
of
you do half
substances.
speed.
Yeah.
It does. It's hilarious.
Can someone
Eric.
please,
Thanks,
like,
Eric.
can we make a clip where it is played at half speed?
Oh,
I think
that
this
should be on
clip,
the soundboard
yeah.
or something.
Anyways, any ideas you guys have for mothers to be?
First time mother,
yeah, I think
right?
that's what it said.
First time
Thank
mother.
you, Eric. Eric, this was a delightful voicemail.
Eric, you're amazing.
This is the type of quality content the internet needs. This is the type of content made for the www.facebook.com.
Instead of watching Game of Thrones,
Yes.
listen to this voicemail.
Yeah, listen to this segment.
Yep.
So, anyone have any ideas?
Well,
Allie, what would you get your wife?
Providential Co.
What? Oh, that's a really good. What did you guys get your wife for Mother's Day? Did you guys
That's
get her anything?
a good
Is
question.
this an awkward one? Should we just move on?
Nick, you
or-
go first.
Like,
Do you remember what you got for
last-
her first Mother's
Oh, for
Day?
her first Mother's
Yeah.
Day? I don't remember.
All right, we'll
Really
be back
don't.
after this segment. I don't remember. I have no clue. I've had too many kids.
I would think a night if she's a creative and all this, but I would just think maybe if your wife is into this, but like spa stuff, I think that's always
yeah,
super.
that's-
Like a basket full of like just treat yourself, girl. You're newly pregnant.
I will say,
about to be a mom.
here's another idea, especially if they're a creative type person. And I'm sure there's lots of different versions of this out there, but they have these books where it's like you can kind of journal like day by day or month by month, like memorable moments with your child.
Oh yeah.
So
idea.
that would be actually kind of cool. We had a quote book that Danielle, after I think our firstborn turned like 1, and then he started kind of talking. She started writing down quotes and
So
stuff.
cute.
So you could look back and kind of remember. But if she's kind of creative, maybe a little journal like that. She could draw stuff. She could write stuff. She could just anything she's inspired to kind of do. She could just collect in this book.
If it says that she's a worship leader, so I don't know if there's. I don't know if she writes songs.
Ooh.
There's like stuff that comes to her writing.
The other kind of, well, I guess it wouldn't be a gift, but I was gonna think, well, I wasn't gonna think. I thought it.
Sounds like you're thought that one.
I thought it.
Tear.
Johnny, what are your ideas?
I'm more into making something or doing something together if possible. Like
Macrame.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, if there's something you can make her that maybe you guys have in common, or something that correlates with worship leading, I think that would be.
That's cool.
I think that would be more impactful.
So they've not delivered the baby yet, right?
No.
Mom to be. You know what would be really awesome is maybe if you create some type of like Spotify playlist of like worship for during
labor.
And then maybe some type of journal where you could like journal out
It'd
during
be funny
labor.
if you put in good father in it. Just like slide in some of those in there. Like,
Why would that be funny?
because it's like one for him too.
All right, thanks, Eric, for the voicemail. That was wasn't that a
Eric,
sweet
that was so
voicemail?
sweet.
I love our listeners. Our listeners are the best. Okay. Next voicemail. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Cassie Richard, and I'm from Louisiana, and I have a question for the Creative Gang. So I stumbled upon you guys a few months ago, I think.
I have to stop this because in the transcript it says I have a question for the Creative Gay.
Yeah. I was reading that, and that's what I heard.
But because I was looking at it while she said it, it kind of sounded like that's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay,
What did she say?
Creative Gang.
Gang.
Come on, Nick.
Gang. Okay.
Which was perfect timing because I had just been thrown into a director of youth ministry role.
Nice.
Having never been a youth minister, just on the core team for like 8 years. And just out of necessity and as a volunteer. So I've been working that way since October of last year. And as of next Friday, I will officially be the youth ministry, the youth minister at my parish. My question for you guys is, what do you have advice-wise? This will be my first real year to really start from the beginning. So I just wanted to hear what you guys had for me in terms of advice and suggestions. So yeah, thanks so much.
Don't do
That's
it. Quit.
awesome.
Abort.
Get a real job.
So Cassie is amazing. Cassie joined as a
Cassie.
Patreon member. Isn't that so nice?
Cassie.
So that means, Nick, you better deliver at least $5 worth of value
Right now.
Right
You
now.
guys have a lot of good stuff to say
Is
about
it-
this, though.
So it's Cassie or Kathy?
It's Cassie.
Okay, the transcript
Yeah,
says
Google. I'm pretty sure it's Cassie.
Gang,
Well,
so.
Cassie.
I'm pretty sure it's
here
Cassie.
at this table. You have 4 youth ministers.
Yeah.
3 current.
And so
1 former.
let's summarize. It's her first year of youth ministry.
So
she
she's
said
been a
she
core
has
team member.
She has a experience with the core team.
And she was a volunteer youth minister for the past 8 months.
Okay.
8 years, it says.
Nick, what would you tell her? Her first year of youth ministry. What
year
does
of
she
youth
do?
ministry. The best thing that you should do, or that you could do in this first year, is to dedicate the whole year to professionalism in the workplace. And I really, really, really mean
The
that.
entire year.
Order yourself, because when you do that professionally, the ministry is just going to be a lot better if you're ordered in the office and ordered with the rest of the staff as well. And on top of that, which kind of just segues into having a plan. If you don't have a plan in regards to how you're going to be implementing youth ministry for not just the culture of the parish, but for the community, the city that you belong to. If you don't have a plan, somebody else is going to come up with a plan for you, whether it be a parent or another staff member or just some very old person that belongs to the parish that cares, and all these people have really good ideas, but they're biased in some kind of way. And so you need to create some sort of plan from whatever your 7th through 12th or 9th through 12th, from when a 7th grader comes into your program and a 12th grader leaves, what are you going to give them, and what is important to the community at the same time. So professionalism, and then come up with a plan. If you don't come up with that plan, somebody else is going to come up with it for you.
Question.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be ordered in the workplace?
I would not show up like a slob, I guess. You know, I think youth ministry gets a really bad shtick of just like very immature young adults who just maybe couldn't do anything else. Whereas actually, I think youth ministry does demand a person who is very responsible, can meticulously handle a budget, you know, and is actually responsible for perhaps a parish culture, you know, inducing change. And so I'm a firm believer that the parents will go where the youth go, provided that wherever the youth go is like worth following. And so I think you as a youth minister have a lot of amazing influence on not just your parish, but the entire city that you're in. And so if you're not ordered, like in the sense of like having your plan, like establishing, you know, practical goals that are measurable, you know, that you can actually attain. Another thing is like if your pastor has a different definition of youth ministry than you do, then you should probably have that conversation with your pastor so that you both are on the same page. If your pastor wants it to be this and you kind of disagree, then that's a whole other problem. But for the sake of the parish, like it's your pastor's parish. And so you want to say what your pastor is saying. You don't want to do anything contradictory to what your pastor is saying, unless it's just very bad, like Game of Thrones bad.
Sure.
That bad. That bad.
So that's what I mean by professionalism in the workplace. Like, you know,
That's
like
good.
include
That's a good
staff into what you're doing. Just like be very inclusive. Like don't be a slob. Handle your budget well. Be responsible. Like email the parents. Pursue them like crazy, and be someone worth following.
Do a good job. Just do good. Just do a good job.
Just do it.
Cassie, do
Just
it.
go do it.
Like off the top of my dome, my advice. Allie, what?
That was funny.
Are you
You're
laughing
a funny
at me?
person. No.
Are you
Oh my
laughing
God.
at me?
Was that not supposed to be humorous?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Off the top of my head, the things that are coming to mind are in my first year of youth ministry, I wish I would have focused on establishing my non-negotiable habits. So I really wish I would have focused really hard on establishing every Thursday at 2, I go to adoration and pray for my parish and for my ministry. And that's hard. It's hard to do, especially when you're starting, because you're going to feel like everything's important.
Yep.
And I wish I would have really, really focused on some achievable, like not over the top, like every day I'm going to pray for an hour and I'm going to go to daily mass and I'm going to XYZ. I would just really focus on, as far as prayer, like your habits and your rhythm of like non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So maybe for you, it's once every 3 months, I'm going to have a desert day where I just go and be with the Lord for one day. Or maybe it's, you know, whatever it is, I would try to think about your spirituality and your prayer life and just like develop a rhythm that first year. And then the second thing I would say that I wish I could like go back and tell myself is just think long-term, long-term mindset. Like write it on a card and put it somewhere in your office and just remind yourself like long-term mindset. Is this going to matter 5 years from now? And I think if you just keep reminding yourself of that, it just takes the pressure off. I'm in this for the long term. I'm going to become better, 10% every year, and like long-term mindset. And so I think those two things are the two biggest things I would say.
Don't spend 3 hours designing a flyer.
Yeah.
Because the kids don't care.
Exactly.
They really don't
And
care.
then the event's going to end and then it's just going to be done.
You're
Exactly.
designing that flyer for the other youth ministers in your area.
Yeah, let's be
That's
real.
pretty much why you're spending 3 hours doing it, right?
That's a really good point.
I wish, 5 years into youth ministry, if you're going to flash forward 5 years, you're going to wish you spent more time with that core member that's been with you for 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you spent
absolutely.
less time with that one flyer that went out for a retreat.
Right. Oh,
So
yeah.
long-term
It's an awesome
mindset.
flyer, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
Ooh.
great flyer.
It's
Cassie,
beautiful.
it's the best flyer.
It's a really
The mix
nice.
of the
It's
color
the
palette
best.
was
It's the
amazing.
good flyer.
Girl.
I wish I could come here and
It was
say
not in Canva. You photoshopped it.
Yeah.
It was original.
Man.
From the ground up.
Okay, thank you, Cassie. Well, what'd you got?
One last thing.
Go for it.
I would do your best to distinguish working in the ministry and then working on your ministry.
Ooh,
And
preach.
So,
Preach, Nick.
It's good.
yeah, so if you're
Brother Nick's got a word.
There it
working
is.
in the ministry, then
Five.
infrastructure is going to be lost. Vision is going to be lost. Clarity is not going to be there. So
Yeah. Can I say
Be
one?
able to just
What?
Be able to distinguish those two things.
Okay. What was the other thing you were gonna say?
Johnny.
Oh, you.
Johnny was gonna.
Who said? Someone
Yeah.
said.
No,
Can I
that
say
was
one
me.
more thing?
Super quick. I think what I didn't
Blowing
do
through
very
nap
good.
time, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. I don't
Sorry,
know
what,
that
Johnny?
was.
We're just blowing through nap time, aren't we?
Johnny, what?
I'm so afraid you're gonna do it.
No, go.
I would think. I mean, kind of Edmund, your first newsletter that you put out about youth ministry kind of spoke to this, but
Quit.
really think. Well, quit. Yeah. Really think about everything you do. Think how is this going to directly impact the prayerfulness of the students, but also the parents. Like I think I would go as far to say that 50% of your time, your first year, needs to be pouring into the parents. Like that, I think a lot of times, my first year, I probably thought about that 5% of the time. And then I realized that the true fruit that we were actually seeing wasn't something that they were coming and experiencing because of me or because of any core team member. It was because I had a really good talk with their mom, the Monday before, a youth night. And then she came back the next week and said like, oh, we talked about this and it's great. And we prayed about it. And like, so think, in every decision you make, if you can think, what is a measure of success that you want the students to walk away with? And then what is the measure of success for the parents to walk away with? I think it's going to serve your kids way more than
That's real good.
than you will.
It'll preach.
Johnny.
All right, good job, team. All right, we got another voicemail here. We got to
praying
get through
for
this.
you.
We're praying for you,
Yes,
Cassie.
girl.
Feel free to reach out if you want more advice because I love giving it.
Breaking off the dome.
Hi, this is Ryan Hillfish, and my question for you guys today on The Big Show is, what do you guys think we need to do to get young people back in church? There have been statistics that we're dropping like flies, and I would love to know what your take is on this crisis. Thank you so much. Bye.
This is Ryan from St. Thomas. We went to school with her.
So
Went to college
Ryan
with her.
Fishhill?
No, Hillpish.
Hillpish?
Hillpish.
Hillpish or Hillfish?
No, it's not Hillfish.
Kafilka fish. Kafilka fish.
Yes.
Says Hillfish.
Hillpish. It's
Okay.
Hilpi.
So Ryan Hillkafilka fish says, how do you guys think we should respond to get young people back into the church?
I think she's also a recent youth, like a new youth minister too. That or she was applying for youth ministry.
All right.
So yeah.
What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Young people, Gen Z, crazy kids. They're not millennials. They don't know who Britney Spears is.
Some of mine do.
Oh,
But it's more of the
I use
safe
her.
word.
I use Britney's like shaving her head picture a
Yeah.
lot in
Yeah.
talks. I like probably too much.
You in Seattle.
So they know who Britney Spears is.
Or,
So, what do you guys
I
think
did.
about getting young people back into the church? You guys are youth ministers, so this is kind of your job. So you better have an idea.
I think there's a lot of different avenues that we could go in. Like, are we speaking just like on purely what we as a youth minister can do, or what the family should be doing, what the parish as a whole should be doing?
I think anything's fair game. This is a big table. We're ready for all of it.
I think it also depends too on the reason they left in the first place.
Yeah.
That's just a huge thing. Like in just the students that like college age students or young adults that are just now coming back to our parish, just with kind of curiosity and they just kind of want to see what they're missing. Like I've realized there's just so many different reasons. Some of them are a lot of it is just because they went to college and the world gets to take more of your attention than it did when you lived with your parents. And then some people are hurt very deeply by some actions of the church and it just everything in between. But I would say, like, first and foremost, like, it's going to sound really cliche, but I think we just need to be really unified in prayer for those who have fallen away. And like, I know that's one of those things where it's like, no, give me like a tangible solution. And I've seen tangible solutions come from prayer. I think we need to put faith in that. And then two, I think just being approachable as a church employee, and being a vulnerable, authentic parish employee, saying, let's go get a beer, let's talk about this.
Seriously.
I think those are the type of people we need.
I love asking kids that. Let's go get a beer. Let's talk about this.
Yep.
I think you heard it.
Can't drink? Oh, cool.
St. Vincent de Paul, everybody.
You heard it here first. The best way to bring the youth back to the church is to say, "Hey,
You know what?
let's go get a beer."
They're like, I'm in.
Hey man, have you ever smoked
the coolest.
Hey man, have you ever smoked a cigarette?
Oh god. No,
Hey man, why don't me and you go smoke a cigarette?
Oh my gosh.
Do you vape, bro?
Right.
Do you vape?
Yeah, vaping, juuling.
Do you
is the
jewel?
thing now.
All right, sorry, Nick.
So Edmund and I were talking about this earlier today, and I was quoting, I believe it's Father Malin. He says, "You win people to what you win people with." Did that make sense?
Say it again.
What you win? Sorry, what you win people with is what you win people to. And so presenting authenticity, just having your ministry be organic, that's what you're winning people over to. And so kind of back to what I guess we were telling Cassie, right?
Yeah.
Cassie, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that, just be somebody worth following. And so if somebody's uninspired to know Jesus, and honestly, that is like my prayer after I receive Holy Communion. Wow, we're getting like really vulnerable here.
Do it, please.
My prayer
no one will hear
is
this.
like, Lord, when people see me, that they actually see you instead. Or when people see me like through this ministry, that they're drawn to reconciliation to you. Just kind of not a full on denial of myself and just elevating Jesus, but in like, Jesus, I want you to work through me, and I want them to see you through me, and not me. And so whatever, however I can sum that up again.
It's kind of like the Pope Paul VI quote where it's like, I'm going to butcher it, but it's like the world doesn't need teachers. We need witnesses.
Yeah.
And those who are good teachers are good teachers because they're witnesses first.
Yeah.
Something like that. But essentially like just being a witness of your faith and why are you still Catholic?
Yeah.
Like why haven't you left?
Modern man.
I think too, like
Here we go. No, shut up, everybody.
He's gonna flex real quick.
Oh, is that what that is?
Are you ready for me to fix this?
All right.
Johnny trying to quote people. Here we go.
Aren't all 5 of your kids asleep?
Yeah, but they sleep through stuff like this. Modern man listens more willingly to witnesses than to teachers.
Oh, here we go.
And if he does listen to teachers, it is because they are first witnesses.
We get it. You went to school.
He's clapping for himself right now.
No one join him.
He's
Join him.
clapping for himself right now.
There's an ego issue here. Look at his face.
Stood a little taller.
Anyways, no, but dude, I'm really glad you brought that up.
Well, okay, I was just gonna say what you were saying about being approachable, and I think creating an environment, because so many people, they just want to belong to something and to something, anything, and so creating an environment and starting with yourself of being approachable and just being open. And like, I'm an introvert, so sometimes it's really hard for me to go up to people and just talk to people.
Yeah.
But creating that environment, and especially with your adults, whoever's helping you out, but making sure that is the baseline, that this is not a clique thing where you come into a room, you have no idea where to belong, because most of the time people are being just dropped off or whatever it is. But being approachable and just being so, like you said, so loving and so open and welcoming, people are drawn to that and they want to belong to that. I think that's huge.
Something that like has really transformed ministry for me in the past month is like Emily Smith. Have you? That's such a very common name, but she did a study. She wrote a book called "The 4 Pillars of Meaning," and she's not Christian. It has nothing to do with the faith, but it's just she studied the psychology of being happy. Was her doctorate or something like that. She wrote this book and discovered that a lot of people don't actually care about being happy. They just want to have a sense of meaning. And she followed these people for like a long time. Like I can't remember how many years, but followed the same people through like so many stages of life, and then broke it down to the 4 pillars are belonging, purpose, transcendence, and storytelling. So the last 2 kind of are a little weird, but
no, they make sense to me.
It makes sense.
They make sense to me.
100%.
Yeah, but thinking about ministry, and you want to give those 4 things. Like obviously we want to give them a place to belong. We want to give them a church that gives them purpose. But then a lot of us don't think about storytelling in the sense like, we have small group time and they get to go and share their story, but like how are they actually getting to tell their story of redemption? as something greater than themselves is going to. It's like the whole principle of you teach something, you remember it 90% better than if you're taught.
Related to that, this is just an aside. You should go read the article called How the World Lost Its Story by Robert W. Jensen. And it talks about that. It talks about how Christianity offers a narrative that, like a story that we can become a part of, and how, especially in postmodernism, we have this like fraction, like there's no narrative, right? Think like, oh gosh, what's the movie?
Truman Show.
No.
Jumanji.
Not where
Liar,
he dances. He
Stuart
dances.
Little.
Hot Rod.
Happy Feet.
Tina, come and get your ham.
Oh,
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite, right?
That was pretty
So
Nailed it.
Napoleon Dynamite is an example of a postmodern film because it's funny because there's no narrative. It like just doesn't really make sense.
It's true.
And so this article by Robert W. Jensen, How the World Lost Its Story, argues that Christianity offers a narrative that we can become a part of, and that modern man doesn't have like a narrative or a story. Anyways, we're running out of time here, so we're gonna go
really
to.
good.
Oh, this is good stuff. Let's
This is
keep
good
going.
stuff. This is good
Let's
stuff. But
keep
we got a lot. We got a
Ryan.
lot more. We got other voicemails people want to know.
Thanks,
okay, people want to know.
Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you,
Ryan,
Ryan.
for
Okay, so
great.
that's that. Thank you,
so
everyone, for the
funny.
voicemails. You can call in at 817-527-1423. This is going well. I'm really liking this. How are you guys liking this over on the couch? How's the live Photoshop going?
I made some myself.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of engagement happened.
Not a lot of engagement?
Yeah.
You guys suck!
Wait, where were you doing it on? Were you doing it on the show's Instagram or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just open ended. I figured
All right.
Yeah, I got the notive.
stuff. So.
Hey, we're just trying stuff. We're just figuring it out. Okay.
I'm a hip youth
He's a
minister,
youth
man.
minister.
Don't question me. That's transcendence right there. That was the
No.
third pillar of that book you read. Did you hear that? Transcendence.
How many of you guys have ever
Quote
seen a
my own
baby?
thoughts. Don't you quote my own thoughts right back at me?
So how many of you guys have ever seen a baby?
I thought that was you talking right now.
We'll never
So
stop.
how many of you
It
guys have ever
was.
seen a baby?
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. Let's do it again.
No.
So
how many of you guys have ever seen a baby?
Whoa! You did it at the same time.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Okay, Allie, this segment everyone loves. This segment is called Allie's News. Here we go, Allie.
Don't mess this up.
Okay. Allie, are you sweating?
No, I'm not right now.
She is, though.
I'm not
Okay.
sweating. I'm very dry.
The last thing we have to do, dear listeners, is we have to get through some news. And so Allie is gonna hit this.
I'm gonna bring it.
We're gonna bring this pre-roll, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Allie Hoffman, and welcome to Allie's News.
Okay.
That was really good.
No.
Why'd you interrupt me?
Okay. Here's
Was that
what
good?
No.
The tambourine was
Here's what I want to talk
locked
about.
in.
Thank you.
Here's what I want to say. Hi, this is Allie's News. Welcome. Like, it's repetitive. You already said hi, and then you're welcoming. Okay?
Yeah.
It needs to be just tight.
Didn't we just talk about being a person of welcoming and
No.
openness?
It needs to
How
be,
dare you?
No, it needs to be tight, and it needs to
Don't
be
you put words in
engaging.
my mouth.
Okay, so I want you to go. I want you to.
I'm about this.
I want you.
That's not. That's
Drop
not,
one.
That's not good.
Drop one of them.
Wait,
Ian!
I don't wish I said that.
Ian, can you edit that out? Ian,
Take that back.
Ian.
I do not want to have said.
Oh, hi.
said
Thanks
that.
for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
It makes
Okay.
more
Now
sense if
sweating.
people heard what we were talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
before the
sweating
show
now.
started.
Oh,
Through a little painful time.
Oh, man.
Okay.
edit that out, please.
All right. Yep. Ian, edit that out, Ian. Okay. Here we go. Try again, Allie.
Oh. Hi, this is Allie Hoffman with Allie's News.
Okay. Can you try again? But this time, can you
I'm gonna
smile?
kill you for real.
Smile while you say it. Can you smile while you say it?
Sure, yeah, I'll smile.
Nick, are you thinking of Andy?
Wait, I feel like
No,
sniper
play it
rifle.
again.
I feel like you're not.
This is not, we're not even playing a game. I'm gonna shoot you for real.
You don't use a sniper rifle in Carrington.
Sniper rifle. What?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Allie,
Yeah.
when people are listening to
Which
the
one
audio,
should I look at? There's so many cameras at us.
that one.
Okay.
When people are listening,
Yeah.
when you smile, they can hear it in your voice.
I was smiling then.
Not enough.
He does this on purpose, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. All right, last chance. You're a professional.
Take this seriously.
You
Allie.
get.
He just said to smile.
Okay. Wait, Allie. Can we
That's
talk
a
for?
professional smile.
Allie, can we talk for a second?
Only if you put on background music.
Do you or do you not?
Nope.
Do you or do you not get paid to speak?
Some occasion. Oh, I do. Yeah.
You're a professional.
And that's why I'm nailing this.
Debatable.
Freaking-
Here we go. All right, here we go.
Wow. We're just blowing through nap time,
I
aren't
am,
we?
Okay,
I am
all
the
right.
best at this.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is the news segment.
Hi, this is Allie Hoffman with Allie's News.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's the news.
Do you like that smile? Thank you. I smiled so
Here's
hard.
the news. Okay.
I love like
winked,
that. The
too.
head nods too.
Yeah.
It's a very Gustavo Almodovar.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly who I was channeling.
Good.
Gustavo.
So here's the news. It appears that Florida teens were stranded in the ocean and prayed for help. They were rescued by a boat named Amen.
What?
And you say there's no God.
Yeah, explain to me that.
Wait, what were the teens doing?
Explain that, Eric.
Hold on.
Those are some young teens.
Does Richard Dawkins read the freaking news? Does Sam Harris read the freaking news?
Apparently not. How are they abandoned?
And you say there's no
stranded.
God.
They're both 17 years old.
That's 12.
Why would
They've
a
been
wait.
Oh, they've been
Wait.
friends.
No, they're
since the
no,
fourth grade.
No, they're brother and sister, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it says
No.
friends since
Both
the fourth
Tyler
grade.
Smith
unless
and
they're
Heather
twins.
Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two different
They're
last
standing
names.
pretty
This
close
isn't
to each
Game
other.
of Thrones, Edmund.
Listen, Johnny, if you were stranded, Johnny, if you,
Yes.
this is actually this is a real thing. When people are in traumatic situations, like near life or death kind of situations, those people often end up getting married. I'm not joking. I've read that before, that traumatic experiences often bring people together and they end up getting married. So stranded in the middle of the ocean, 2 Florida teens began to pray. It says, I cried out, if you really do have a plan for us, come on, just bring something. Okay, so how did they end up in the ocean? This was a good question by our correspondent, Allie.
Thank you.
Okay, they decided to swim offshore.
There we go.
For what?
Okay,
For what
yeah.
reason? What
Johnny, why do you think a boy teen and a girl teen would decide to swim offshore in
They're
Volano
friends.
Beach?
Jellyfish.
Okay. So they became stranded 2 miles off the coastline, which the riptides can be a thing. So maybe the riptide kind of ripped them out there.
Just ripped it.
So the teens started to worry that they might not make it. They became weak and held each other up as much as they
Okay,
could.
here
Did
we
they
go.
have to do
All
that?
right.
I mean,
It sounded like Game of Thrones.
make room for Jesus.
Hey, watch it. They began to pray because it. So, anyways, just
Yeah,
imagine
what's
yourself.
what's the near occasion of sin? Like,
No.
In this scenario,
They are.
like, come on.
They were apparently they were really far out, and they got to a point where they were like, I don't know if we're gonna make
We're
it.
gonna die.
We're gonna. Hold on. Where is it?
You just derailed. he has to do.
You're gonna die.
You can't.
Okay.
You're gonna die.
Okay. So then they prayed, and then they started.
Really good
A boat showed up. They started swimming towards it, and then their prayers were answered in the form of a
Wow.
boat named Amen.
The Amen.
The amen.
The
What
men
a
in the
name.
boat. They brought them safely to shore. There they are.
They look so
They're
happy.
getting married.
They're now going to prom together.
For sure.
Boat themed prom. And then the teens say they thank God and the men who saved them. There's no other reason, no other explanation in the world other than God.
Wow.
It would be funny if it turns out they were only like 100 yards from shore.
It's like they're like freaking out, just stand up. And they're like, oh.
Just stand up.
And it's
Held
like,
on to each other.
yeah, they just stand up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
We're fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Okay.
I call bull. Tyler planned the whole thing
For sure.
just so that he could have
Church
the
pop.
experience.
A new wife.
Churchpop.com. Is the Avengers Infinity Gauntlet actually St. Teresa of Avila's incorrupt hand?
I see
Yes.
this everywhere.
Next.
Which leads you to ask, who wants to kill half the universe? Is it Thanos?
Yeah.
Or is it old
Dwight Schrute.
T to the Izzo A Avila? Anyways, this is a picture, Allie.
Thank you. That's
This is a picture of
Wow.
of Saint Teresa of
pretty
Avila's,
close.
and for those of you who are listening at home, you should be watching at home. This is a picture of the photo of the relic of Saint Teresa of Avila's hand, and the
Those are
relic.
jewels.
This is called a reliquary, right?
Mhm.
Which is something you hold in a relic of a saint, And it's like, can you describe this, Allie? It looks like a gold glove with jewels.
Bronze. Nice hefty base.
And it looks
It does.
it's got some good bass there.
It does.
So, Allie, do you think there's some connection here?
I mean, there has to be. Look at that. That's crazy.
Eric, can you say there's no God?
Yeah.
Eric.
Look at this.
Amen.
Do you see this? It looks just like Thanos' glove.
Eric. It's incredible. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Me neither. No spoilers.
The gauntlet of Thanos is so powerful because it's a replica of a relic. That's what someone said.
Okay. Well,
Someone said Thanos is powerful because it's a replica of a Catholic
T-Rizzle.
relic.
Yeah.
Who wrote this article?
Who wrote this article? Church Pop. It doesn't say.
At the top.
Anyways, what do you guys think about that?
I want to know who.
That's pretty
Who wrote these stories? Was it Stanley?
Real people.
Who wrote the stories?
Father Dismas OP posted this viral tweet saying the gauntlet of Thanos is so powerful because it's a replica of the relic of the hand of St. Teresa of Avila.
That's pretty. I mean, that's eerily similar.
Okay, so that's more news. What else we got? Okay, we're gonna go to Sonic the Hedgehog. Have you seen the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog?
No. Watching it live.
This is the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
Oh, I like him.
I can't hear what you're saying, Eric.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Wow.
You haven't seen this, Nick?
No.
Gotta go fast.
I feel like a little kid right now.
Is your heart beating?
20 minutes ago,
it is.
An energy surge knocked down power across the entire Pacific Northwest. This needs someone who can figure out exactly.
Can you listen? The soundtrack here is, as I walk through the valley where I harvest my pain, I take a look at my life, realize you. That's Sonic. When we think of Sonic, we think of
automatically.
All right,
absolutely.
What we're dealing with.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
We have no choice.
Is that Jim Carrey?
That's Jim Carrey.
Gosh.
Yes, I am.
Nope.
I'm
Wrong. I'm in charge.
Allow me to clarify. In a sequentially ranked hierarchy based on level of critical importance, the disparity between us is too vast to quantify. Agent Stone?
That's
The
what
doctor
you
thinks
do in
you're
youth
basic.
ministry.
Listen, pal, I don't know if you realize
I'm sorry, Major. What was your name?
Benny.
Nobody cares.
He's so rude.
So rude.
SFPD.
Okay. What? That's Sonic.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Nick? Any thoughts?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
All right.
I thought it would
Johnny?
be worse. I thought it would be
Johnny?
worse.
I'm gonna watch it just for Jim Carrey, if I'm being honest.
Okay, but
that's the only
Sonic.
Dude,
no.
I
But
grew
Sonic.
up
Look at
playing
him.
this game with my
yeah,
brother.
me too. Me too.
But I was always Knuckles.
But is this what you pictured? Sonic, him, that. Allie? I'm kind of begging the question here. I know I'm leading us, but
No,
what's your
it's
take?
not.
Good job, Allie. Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
Okay.
Meow. Oh, come on.
Okay, pal, I want answers. Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, is that all you got?
No, but thank you for asking.
Okay, we're not gonna play the whole thing.
Okay.
Here's the story I want to tell you. When this trailer came out recently, there was such a backlash. Everyone on the internet was saying Sonic looks awful.
Oh.
He looks awful. And so then I'll read the tweet. So then there was such a big backlash that, oh geez, where is it? Anyways, there was such a big backlash that the makers of the movie said, "We've heard you. We're going to go back and fix this."
What?
So they're going to go back and edit how Sonic
Entire
looks.
movie?
Wow.
I think they're going to give him a facelift a little bit. Maybe kind of like broaden out his
I
quads.
think the eyes need to be bigger.
Wow.
Maybe a little less hair.
That's the power of laity.
Shorter? You think he should be shorter, really? So what would you clock him as, Allie, in this video? How tall do you think he looked in this video?
Just a cool 4'2".
4'2"? Johnny, would you agree?
Yeah, 4'3".
Give him a 4'2".
4'3".
Oh, you just sitting really.
Do you think he's taller or shorter than Sam Ford, Michael? What? Just saying as a point of reference. I don't know.
He's definitely shorter than Sam.
Yeah, okay. So shorter than Sam Ford.
Okay. You got a reference now.
That's a reference for our listeners.
I mean, proportionally, like his arms and legs were too long.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
was
kinda
awkward.
lanky.
He was awkward looking, like, is he a man? Is he an animal?
A
Right?
hedgehog. Sure.
So what do you think about that? Like, in a world in a world where a trailer comes out, and when the trailer comes out, they're pretty like far as production goes. When a trailer comes out and the internet can get so upset that the producers of the movie say, we're going to go back and fix it. Now, granted, it's CGI. I'm sure they just go back and they got a bunch of knobs and they're like, more hair, less hair,
Sure.
taller,
More
shorter,
calves.
Hair knob.
bigger calves,
Hair knob.
smaller.
Yeah.
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 They got a hair knob.
Gray hair knob. They turned down.
All right, let's stop it. So,
Power of
what
the
do you
people.
guys think about that?
That's pretty insane of that much of like, okay, well, we hear that's pretty powerful of people. Oh my gosh.
What do you
Stepping
think,
up.
Johnny?
It's pretty humble
What's humbled?
that they're like, okay, yeah, we got it wrong. We'll try again.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of producers would be like, no.
Nick, what do you think?
Sorry.
You're excited about this movie? No? Jim
Yeah.
Carrey? Sonic?
I think I'm just excited because it's making me feel like a kid again.
Now, this is like most
Because
of
I
the
played
market
the
right now.
Sega
Is,
game.
Trying not
yeah,
to get emotional
nostalgia.
here, Nick.
Nostalgia is a
Yeah.
big part of the market. Okay, well, let's go on to this next segment or the next news bit. This is an Instagram profile I found that launched recently, and it's called Ava, I think Ava, EVA Stories. And so this is a fictitious Instagram profile that basically the idea is, what if a young girl, during the Holocaust had an iPhone?
Whoa.
Do April 19th. That was my birthday. Go back.
Okay, let's see what happened on April. Where is it?
There it is.
Right here?
The far right. Oh, you just passed. Yeah, there it is.
Whoa.
I'm nervous.
So,
What?
yeah. So what you're seeing is there's a bunch of stories, and the stories go day by day in Ava's life, and they're based on journal entries from a real girl that lived during the Holocaust, and they start off very like innocent. Like if a girl from that time had an iPhone, it's kind of like, here's me hanging out with my friends February 13th.
My name's Eva. That's me. It's 1944. The Nazis have conquered most of Europe, and they do terrible things to us Jews. But they
So there's like day by day, just like if a girl had Instagram and was doing stories, and a lot of it's really like there's one where they're literally just hiding and she just has her phone out, and it is,
Wow, that's fascinating.
it's really, really interesting. And I really think
Definitely gonna follow that.
I really think Instagram is going to start going this route, because again, we go off of Sonic and the audience shaping what the content is. This is really interesting as it's being released, people interacting, but also it's in a different format. So like this isn't just a movie. This is like different stories. People can comment. And so it's coming out slowly.
Impact. And it's
so-
credits, so there's obviously an end.
Yep. And so
Wow.
the New York Times article on this is really interesting. There was a guy, they spent a couple $1 million producing this. They got tanks and hundreds of actors. Like they get on a train, like there's crowds. Like, I mean, it's like high production value. Now, some people in Israel are saying that it is too, like that it somehow like trivializes the Holocaust. Like by reimagining a young girl with Instagram, it's somehow like making it too superficial. Like making Holocaust like a game or like
Social media experience.
yeah, like a social media thing. And so I was wondering what you guys thought. Do you think that, I mean, my wife and I, when I started telling my wife about this, she immediately was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, it's really cool that it could impact younger people, that they could in the language, in the only language young people understand, which is Instagram stories, that they could engage with it as if it was a real person, like putting out these stories, and they could experience a real it's a different version of reading the journal entries of someone who lived through it, which is like, what if they had an iPhone? This is what they might experience. I don't know. I'm wondering what you guys think about that.
I think what's profound is you mentioned she was like recording while they were hiding.
Yeah.
You know, just like, you probably shouldn't do that, you know, and a lot of people will go live on some things that they probably should not go live on. Like, like there's been like multiple, or I saw one where like these two girls got in a car accident, and then one of the girls, like I think they were sisters, like was just Instagramming living.
Starting to deport
people. Oh yeah.
She was sorry,
and her sister had passed away. Like her sister was dying, and she's like Instagram living it, and just like, I don't know, that just like tripped me up, like in that the young people of today would definitely be able to understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
Well, as we get
through this lens.
Yeah, as we get farther away from this actual event, like just in history and everything as well, like you said, you just look at how how people today are learning now, and so much of it is visual instead of just reading a textbook of like, oh, that one must have been really hard. But I think going to this, like, even though obviously this is a production, but like going through journal entries and stuff like that, and like an interactive, what you said, that's super powerful, like putting yourself in the story.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He felt like it was him and this guy and his daughter who kind of like produced the whole thing.
Wow.
It says they invested less than $5 million. It didn't involve any government institutions. It was just because they wanted to do it.
How do they get revenue though?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I was gonna ask.
That's where my mind always goes. Like,
how
are you funding this?
Some critics said it was disrespectful, and then responding to the critics, he said, I forget the guy's name, Maddie, said, why is it disrespectful? It's the way people communicate. I have no doubt in my mind that young people around the world want to have serious content and be connected in the right way. Wow. The other thing I liked about this is the idea that you could take young people seriously, that young people would be interested in this, that it's not just someone half naked, like most of Snapchat, that it's a serious issue, and that you could capitalize on the fact that young people do want to be a part of something that is meaningful.
Yeah.
And that you could tell a story that was, I mean, they're not even really honestly telling a story. They're just, I mean, there's no propaganda. There's no message. There's really not any message. It's just, we're going to take these journal entries and we're going to transform them into a different method.
Medium or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought it was really interesting. I think we will see more of this type of stuff.
I was just about to say, you could do so many things this way. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Imagine a feature film on Instagram stories, another feature film where it's like, tell us what you think. And then we just go back and write the rest of the script based on what people are.
It's like YouTube TV, like how YouTube is now all TV and stuff, and just these different mediums.
Okay, this is the last thing. This is Burger King's recent campaign on Twitter. It's okay to feel your way. And I just want to show you this. How come there's a big... Wait, how do I get... Oh, shoot.
Big ad.
Dang it.
Satan.
Okay. What? Don't say that name.
It was messy.
Not everybody wakes up happy. Sometimes you feel sad, scared, crappy. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
Feeling blue. Kinda down. Can't wait to leave this closed-minded town.
My boss is such a freaking creep. I just told him to go south. When I'm feeling weird or sappy, not all angry, just not happy. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
I can't believe my student loan. I'm never moving out of my parents' home.
Just got ghosted. Should've known.
Pretty sure I'll end up alone.
They say I'm too young to raise my baby girl. Take your opinions and suck it, world.
This is a Burger King advertisement.
Wow.
What did that say? Wait. What did that say real quick? It said, I forget. Oh, crap. It says something like, no one's happy all the time, which is like a shot at the Happy Meal.
Right.
It's like a shot at McDonald's.
That's clever.
And so their whole thing is that Burger King is offering these different little, it's not, instead of Happy Meals,
Yeah.
they're offering the, what was it?
It says pissed meal.
Yeah, the pissed meal, the salty meal, the
Yas.
Yas meal. Yeah, salty, pissed, blue, Yas, pissed, salty, DGAF, which we can look up on Urban Dictionary.
Allie, what does that mean?
So, anyways, and then
Dogs,
Burger
gorillas,
King.
always.
Burger King supports the work of Mental Health America. So there's a bunch of different angles on this. Do we want our fast food making a stand for our mental health? Probably not. Eric says no. Right? But on the other hand, is it cool that companies, instead of just being like, buy my 50-cent hamburger, are trying at least to do something?
Yeah, it's very a unique take on things.
Wasn't our old slogan, have it your way?
Mhm.
And now is this...
Wait, was that Burger King or McDonald's?
That was Burger King.
Okay, the crowd says, have it your way was Burger
and
King.
now it's feel your way.
Feel
so, like,
your way.
Have your way is like definitely a decision made. Feel
Yeah.
your way. I mean, you don't really get to decide
feel
your
it.
feelings, right?
Yeah,
Your
feel
feelings
it.
occur, I mean, in the instant. Right?
You could go to that other place and get a Happy Meal, or you could come here and feel.
Feel whatever you feel. Be
Feel it.
happy or don't.
What do you guys think about that? Can you imagine yourself?
Interesting.
Allie, it's 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
on a Friday.
Nice.
And you're pissed.
So
Why was that funny?
I'm tired. I'm awake at 2 a.m.
The fact that Allie's
so
awake
angry.
at 2 right there.
Nick, why was that so funny? I don't understand why.
Angry.
Okay. Shut up,
It
everybody.
was perfect. I just wasn't expecting it. I should have expected
Okay,
it.
You're
Allie.
pissed.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
can you guys not ruin my? Okay, Allie.
Yep.
It's 2 a.m. on a Friday, and you're pissed.
Pissed.
You walk in. You're hungry.
Walking like this.
You walk into a restaurant, elbows out. You're just freaking elbowing. You're just elbowing everybody. You're just like, get out of my way.
Looks so smug.
No one's there because it's 2 a.m.
Nope.
I was gonna say Burger King closes at 11.
This is a different Burger King.
That's why I'm
Okay,
pissed.
but let me ask you, Allie, and be honest.
Okay.
We'll edit this out. You walk up to the counter and you order your food,
Mm-hmm.
and then they say, would you like that? Yes. Pissed. Don't give a or sad.
I do the pissed meal.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Or would you look at them and be like, am I a child?
You know, if I'm going to a fast food restaurant at 2 o'clock, I'd probably get the blue meal because I'm probably not feeling great about myself.
Would you like interact with that system? Like, would you actively be like, hi, my name's Allie. Because you tell your name to the person when you order a burger.
Hi.
Like, hi, I want the sad meal.
Mm-hmm.
And that would somehow provide something to your meal.
As this looks like a novelty item, I would participate in that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
So you imagine yourself as a grown adult walking up to another adult and saying,
Yeah.
hi, I would like the sad meal.
Please.
Even though that person knows that they're putting the same exact food.
Yep.
They're just changing
Yep.
the outside of
And
it.
then I'd walk away like this.
And then you walk back in and be like, I ordered the wrong one.
Dang it.
I meant to order
Now
pissed.
I'm pissed.
Now I'm pissed. What are you asking me? Would I do that?
Yeah.
Sure. For the novelty? Why not?
Do you think I should ask my kids now when I bring them to Burger King?
Oh, what are they feeling?
Be like, Hello, Ignatius.
Yeah. What are you feeling today?
My son Ignatius is 7 years old, and I'm gonna be like, Ignatius, which meal would Mitch meal would you like?
They probably go off colors, maybe.
Be like, Ignatius, my son, whom I love. Are you feeling sad? Don't give up. Pissed. Right? Like I'm gonna talk to my
salty.
Yeah, salty. Am I gonna talk to my 7-year-old about being salty?
Well,
You know what my kids are gonna say?
feel like
My kids are gonna say, "What does pissed mean?"
What does salty mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Is that what Noah does in the backyard? Is that what that means?
gosh.
Anyways,
Yes.
I say this is obviously targeted towards adults.
I wish it
In
would
this way.
like. I mean, I think it's a stupid concept personally, but I think if you
give us your hot take,
you should. I mean, they don't have any optimistic emotions
what I was
there.
thinking.
They're all
the thing is they don't want to be happy because
that's exactly what
McDonald's
to
is
be
a
happy, but be.
Listen, Johnny, if you want to be happy, go to
You can go to
McDonald's. You can go to McDonald's. That's a happy meal.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Have the it's gonna get better meal.
The optimistic, yeah. There's a light at the end of this tunnel.
It's
There's
a Friday
hope.
meal.
You
The
guys
hope
suck
meal.
at food.
The hope
I think,
meal.
I think they're also pandering like to the social class who regularly eats that food anyway, and so I think they're validating that class.
I'm not above fast
through
food.
that ad.
Yeah, that's me.
Michael, did you have something to
Allie
say
and
over
I
there?
are that class.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't eat fast food.
Oh, that's genius.
Okay, Michael said
He's newly
if you
married.
want to
Good.
figure out if your loved one, like how your loved one's feeling, for those of you who have the emotional intelligence of an orange, take them to Burger King and she will tell you. She will tell you. You're like, "Hey honey, what are you going to order?" And she orders, "Don't give up." And then you're like, "All right, danger."
Clearly nowhere.
Danger.
I mean, all of those are danger though.
Yeah, danger.
Like she says salty, and it's like, ooh, yikes.
It's
Blue.
You up?
Okay, well,
I mean, but here's the thing too. If you go to Burger King, I mean, when I go into a restaurant like Burger King, I'm walking in like,
little
yeah, I need a cheeseburger. And
Yeah,
then I walk
please.
out. I don't want to make
Yeah.
eye contact with anybody, and I definitely don't want to tell someone my emotional status
Yeah.
at that point. And
Yeah,
also,
like-
I'm going through the drive-through.
Yeah, I want an option where they ask, they were like, "Which one of the meals do you want to order?" Like, I want an option where I say, "You pick, man. I don't care. I'm an adult, and I don't have emotions.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah, I stopped having emotions after my 4th kid." Okay, well, does anyone else have anything else? I think that's pretty much it. That's all we have.
Never hold anything back.
Did you have a reason for having these out? Are you gonna talk
Oh,
about these?
I didn't have a chance to look up, but we're gonna start giving giveaways. I love our audience,
I love
our
giveaways.
really active small audience. So I think what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start picking random people. There are a few people that are very active in the comment section and sharing stuff, and I'm gonna start in a lot of the episodes calling out some of the people that are sharing in particular.
Awesome.
If you share a Facebook video or you share a YouTube video or you share something, we're gonna just start picking random people and sending them stuff. I have tons of like items and product from back when we were trying to launch a subscription box company.
This looks like a prayer journal.
Yeah, that's a leather. That is real leather from a
I
cow.
have one of these.
It's got a pencil.
Why do you
I
have
bought
one of those?
I bought one.
From me?
It
Thank-
didn't have the pencil thing on it. It was just
Well, we thank you for your business.
It's dinosaur
there's
hide.
that.
That's what it is.
Johnny, closing thoughts before we end here. This has been a great show. What do you guys think over
good.
there? Corey, how's this been? What do you think? Is this everything you imagined and more? Wow. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Making all your dreams
This
come
is
true.
Disney World.
All right. What do you think, Allie, Johnny, Nick? Any
Johnny,
last words
closing
before we
thoughts.
close out?
Nick, just
How many of you
give
guys
us
have
your
ever seen a
closing
baby?
thoughts.
I didn't catch that because I
He's
heard my
listening
own
to him.
voice.
You're listening to yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I get
I
it.
heard myself.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
My lips weren't moving.
We had some Instagram questions, but I think we're running out. I mean, are the cameras still on? Johnny, last closing thoughts.
Nick, give us your closing thoughts.
Allie, give us your closing thoughts.
Here's what I think. All right.
Never mind. Cut.
And we're like,
Wait, really? You're not gonna? What do you think?
Passport.
God bless America. Edmund, closing thoughts.
Edmund, closing thoughts.
Here are my closing thoughts. All right. You're listening. You've listened to an hour and 35 minutes of this show.
Why?
Because you care about yourself. Mm-hmm. Because you believe in yourself.
We care about you.
I need like the national anthem to be playing in the background. You've listened this far because you believe in a dream. The dream of America. Some would say the American dream. You believe that men, women, and people aren't different. They're the same. But they're not.
Unless you're going to Burger King.
Sometimes they're different. You believe in a world where a bunch of priests talking on a podcast is not better than this podcast.
Nope.
You believe in a world where supporting people on Patreon is the way people should make an income.
Yep.
You believe in a podcast.
Yeah.
That should be longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That should not include a child actor. And that should not include a Catholic celebrity of any size, shape, or gender. Thank you and good night. All right, thanks guys. That's it.